Hi, welcome to Send to Print. Today we're going to create a cool Voronoi bottle. So what is Voronoi? We can think of it as nature's way of dividing territory. Like dried mud or giraffe patterns, it's a grid formed by countless points expanding and colliding. This unique hollow structure instantly adds an artistic touch to your model, and it could save you some filament. The modeling method in this video also works for honeycomb patterns or any other pattern you like. The only difference is the texture sketch. This model is not parametric, but it's fast and doesn't require complex math. Without further ado, let's dive right in. First, a quick heads up about the recent Fusion update. When starting a new file, you'll now be asked to choose between part, assembly, or hybrid design. Basically, part restricts you to a single component, and assembly is for combining existing ones. But if you want the classic flexible workflow we've always used, just select hybrid design. It works exactly like before. Back to modeling. Right-click the root directory in the browser and select New Component. Let's rename it to Voronoi Bottle. Let's start things off with a sketch on the XY plane. Hit C for the circle tool, snap it to the origin, and pull out a circle, making it 40 millimeters across. I'm going with a relatively small size here just to make it easy to do a quick test print later. Click Finish Sketch and rename it to Bottle Bottom. Next, hit E for Extrude, select that circle, and pull it up by 60 millimeters. To hollow it out, find Shell in the toolbar, pick the top face, and enter a wall thickness of 1.5 millimeters. To give it a more refined look, let's find the chamfer tool under the Modify menu. Select the bottom edges and the top outer edge. Give it a 1.5 millimeters chamfer. Hit OK. This gives it a clean look and help eliminate elephant foot. And there we go. We've nailed the basic modeling in just 4 simple steps. Now we're going to set up a mapping area for our texture. Create a sketch on the XZ plane. Hit P to project the cylinder's surface right onto our current sketch. Now use the rectangle tool to create a rectangle. Grab the midpoint constraint to snap the rectangle's edges to the top and bottom of that cylinder projection. Hit D to dimension the top edge, and enter diameter times pi. You can imagine this rectangle as a label or a piece of tape. We'll draw the texture on it and then wrap it around the cylinder later. Now for the Voronoi part. Drawing this manually is basically impossible, so we're using an add-in called Fusion 360 Voronoi. I've put the link in the description. It's an open source tool and completely free. The installation is super simple. Once you've downloaded and unzipped the file, go to the Utilities tab in Fusion and click Add-ins. Hit Script and Add-ins. Click the plus button, Script or Add-in from Device. Find your folder and hit Open. Here it is, the Voronoi add-in. You can check Run on startup, so it's always ready when you open the software, or just leave it unchecked if you don't use it that often. Finally, hit Run. Okay, once it's loaded, you'll find it under the Create panel. First, let's set the construction plane to XZ plane. For the profile, we're going to pick that rectangle we just finished. Make sure to click Use Profile Size, or the pattern might end up misaligned. For more detailed settings, let's go to the Voronoi editor. The settings here are all quite intuitive. First is cell style. We've got curves, lines, and all kinds of other shapes. Let's go with curved. This organic look mimics biological forms and feels much more vibrant. Then we have cell count, which basically handles the density. Since we're dealing with some tricky overhangs, I'll keep the cells smaller to ensure a clean print. Let's go with 200. The cell gap is the spacing between the cells. Let's give it a 1/8. Then we have the relaxation parameter. This one might sound a bit abstract, but you can think of it as a way to adjust how evenly the cells are spread out. At 0, it's very natural and random. If you crank that value up, the cells will start to align much more evenly. I think I want a more organic vibe, so I'll give it a smaller value at 27. Looks good to me. You can see here's more parameters below. I've put together a quick reference table for these parameters. You can pause right here to check the exact parameters if you need to. Looks good, click Publish to Fusion. For some reason, the sketch generated by the add-in wasn't created under our current component. Instead, it popped up in the root directory. But it's not much of a problem. This add-in did all the heavy lifting for us, so we only need to do the fun part. Let's wrap this texture onto our bottle. Open the Emboss tool under Create. Select all the profiles. Now, choose the face to engrave. Bring the bodies back and select the bottle surface. For the effect, select Deboss to cut into the body. The emboss depth is set to 2. We can just leave it alone since it's deeper than our 1.5 wall. Click OK. And there it is, a bottle with a Voronoi cut out. It just looks great. This modeling process could be used to create all sorts of styles. The key is all in that sketch. Let me show you real quick. Let's jump back in the timeline to just after the chamfer. Copy the component and right-click. Make sure to select Paste New. Here's the deal. A regular paste creates a linked instance, so if you change one, you change them all, but Paste New gives us a completely independent copy. Go ahead and delete the previous sketch and the emboss feature. This gives us a clean slate while keeping the base body. Now let's rename this one to Hexagon Bottle. Redraw the texture sketch, but this time let's go with a honeycomb pattern. Use Emboss again. Select all the profiles. Deselect the gap profile. And select the bottle surface. And you've got a very nice honeycomb patterned bottle. Doing the exact same thing again. Copy the component. Paste New. Let's call it Diamond Bottle. Create another sketch using diamonds for the holes. Hit Emboss one more time. Select all the profiles. Deselect the gap profile. Bring the bodies back and select the bottle surface. For the effect, select Deboss to cut into the body. And there's our diamond textured bottle. This model and the Fusion 360 F3D source file are available on MakerWorld. You are welcome to download and check the source file. Through this file, you can clearly see every step of the modeling and the parameters I've used. Let's slice it and send to print. After 2 hours of printing, let's look at these 3. This Voronoi bottle has such a cool biological vibe, very avant-garde. But you can see the quality took a hit here because of the extreme overhangs, so you may want to keep the cells relatively small. The hexagon version feels very orderly and industrial. See, here's some slight sagging due to the bridging. If the bridge gets longer, it could become more obvious. Now, here's the diamond one. Looks sharp and sophisticated. It only has 45-degree angles and no bridging at all, so it ends up looking much cleaner and more refined. Overall, not only do these hollow designs save a bit of filament, but those rich surface details also do a great job of hiding the 3D printing layer lines, making the whole thing look much more refined. Okay, the Fusion source file, the model, and all the tool links are in the description below. If you found this tutorial helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more 3D printing designs. Let me know in the comments what should I model next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.